Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. I want to thank you all for joining us this afternoon as we announce the opening of a new regional pod in the state of Rhode Island. We would like to thank all of our member communities, including Pawtucket, Barrington, Warren, Bristol, and Tiverton for coming together on this effort. I'd like to welcome Mayor Don Grebian, Barrington Town Manager Jim Cunha, Warren Town Manager Kate Michaud, Town Administrator Contenti, and Town Administrator Carter, and thank them for their support on this effort. I also want to recognize, before we get going with the speaking program, some of the people who are going to be involved in this day-to-day. We've got Chief Bissett from Barrington, Chief Souza from Warren, Chief DeMello from Bristol, and Dave Deloge, who's the EMA Director for Pawtucket / Central Falls, who will be working on this. And also I want to recognize that Bristol Police Chief Kevin Lynch is here in attendance. Also, very happy to have our Councilman at Large, Bob Rodericks, in attendance with us today. We have had great success here in East Providence vaccinating our residents. I'm proud to say that our East Providence EMA team provided vaccines to over 5,300 residents here in East Providence. Today, as a regional team with all of our community partners, we will be vaccinating 600 Rhode Islanders here at the East Providence Senior Center. I'd like to take a moment to thank our emergency management team and city staff and volunteers who are led by Chief Glenn Quick, our fire chief, Battalion Chief Mike Carey, and Captain John Potvin, who's the pod commander, for their tremendous job over the last several months. Rhode Island went from the bottom of the list with the number of people vaccinated to number 4 in the nation, and that is thanks to Governor Dan McKee's leadership. In fact, immediately after taking oath, Governor McKee wasted no time rolling out a sound vaccination plan and getting the municipalities much more involved. Our governor has also worked tirelessly to ensure that all K-12 teachers, school staff, child care workers receive their COVID-19 vaccines. And we were proud to be part of that here at the East Providence Senior Center when we vaccinated our very own teachers and school personnel. As I said, I'd like to thank all the municipal leaders who are working on this effort, on this pod. All of our hands together will make less of a burden on all of us individually. I believe that working collaboratively we'll be able to increase the number of vaccinations, output, and expedite the process for all of our residents. I'd now like to call on Governor McKee to come up and say a few words.
Mayor, thank you. Mayor, thank you so much. Mayor DaSilva, thank you for your leadership. And to all our municipal leaders, to all my colleagues, thank you for your leadership as well. Not only today, but also as I visited, I think every single one of your communities in terms of your local rollout of your vaccine on the 75 and older and others. So it's great to be here in East Providence today, and thanks to all our public safety, our first responders. We wanted to make sure you were involved, and I know that you are involved, and you've stepped up to the plate in a big way, not only here in East Providence, but all around the state of Rhode Island. To be here and be here in the East Bay, this regional municipal pod for the vaccinations, I want to just point out that there's been a great deal of people locally and statewide. I have my Chief of Staff here, Tony Silva, who's taken it on as I requested to be all COVID. All COVID related, and he's taken a little step from being a Chief of Staff, and I put an interim Chief of Staff in. But this doesn't happen without Tony Silva, a good Cumberland boy, right, Walter? That's right. and along with Tom McCarthy and General Callahan, with their respective counterparts in the Guard and REMA and FEMA. So it's great to be here. Municipal leaders are going to play a major role, not only in getting people vaccinated and getting shots in the arms, but it's going to play a major role in our reopening strategy. And the more vaccinations we get in people's arms, the quicker the reopening is going to happen, and it's going to be done very efficiently and very safely, both on our economy and our schools. As the mayor mentioned, we got a slow start. Harvard, my alma mater, gave us an F in terms of our vaccine distribution, and I made a phone call up there, and I talked to the former dean up there and asked Dean Allison what was going on and how can we get better. And now we've moved up to a B ranking, and I expect that with this effort here today, it's going to move us right to the top of the list, as we are nationally right now in terms of vaccine rollout in age groups and other categories. So I don't need to say any more about the municipalities and their absolute their local leadership and the importance that has had, and I'm grateful for having had the relationships that I enjoy with our municipal leaders, and being able to bring them together and having them respond the way they have. Today, a regional pod is just part of the effort. We're up to being able to do 160,000 shots in any given week, and I think that even grow closer to 200,000 by the time we get the work out. Right now, 97% of Rhode Islanders have access to a vaccine site within 15 minutes of a local drive, with a combination of municipal sites as well as state sites. And sites like we're going to open here in East Providence, servicing multiple communities, is going to really just add to that accessibility. We really need to deliver the message that get your vaccine, get your shot when you're age eligible. Right now, we just opened up the 50 and older this week. Next week, 40 and older. The following week will be 16 and older. And then we're going to be working really hard as we build the capacity, we're going to be working hard to make sure that the supply comes into our state in a way that we can get people vaccinated very, very quickly. And the message is, look, the vaccines are safe and they save lives. We really don't need to go any further than that. They're safe and they save lives, and it's going to allow us to get into a reopening strategy in the state of Rhode Island, so that we do have fireworks and parades on the 4th, and music in Newport this summer and all around our state, showing really, let us enjoy this summer in a big way, but we got to get people vaccinated. So the fastest way to get to that point, get past the pandemic, is shots in the arms. So don't miss your shot. Get your vaccine as soon as you're eligible. I just came from Westerly, where they had a regional opening. That's going fantastic with their leaders there. So together we'll vaccinate the Ocean State, and we'll get back to that kind of summer that we all want to enjoy. So thank you so much for having me here today, and the leadership right here in the communities that we're talking about, again with Pawtucket and with East Providence and Barrington, along with Warren, Tiverton, and also and what am I missing one here, right? No, I got them all. We're good. We're good. They're good. Thank you all for being here. Next up, Bear.